Now, Daniele Mazzei is the speaker of this day. He will introduce himself in terms of the many activities he's carrying out in his research center here at the University of Pisa, blending and combining electronics and software development with a view on research on the broad area of Internet of Things with applications and startup himself. So he's at the same time he's a teacher and a colleague of you. What is his talk about? He will bring the notion of prototyping to the extreme consequences in terms of physical prototyping, and he will teach you how to do that in the first part of the day, mainly this morning, with a sound theoretical introduction, and then with a lot of practical exercises. Daniele has a record of research which is impressive in itself, and he'll be proud to share with you some of the results they are obtaining in his laboratory. Okay, so Daniele, thank you for joining us. We know you have prepared a lot of material for this class. They had yesterday a very inspiring day on prototyping, and they are really keen to understand how to do that. Welcome to everybody. Good morning for those that are joining us today. Please come by 9 in the classroom. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, guys. As introduced by Andrea, thanks Andrea. I am Daniele, and I am a researcher at the Research Center Enrico Piaggio of the University of Pisa. Is an interdepartmental researcher of the Research Center of the University of Pisa. And I'm mainly doing designing machines able to interact in, let's say, in a social and sometimes affective and emotional way with humans. So I mainly work in human-machine interaction, human-robot interaction, and in building objects that try to interact with human, not in the typical way, let's say physical and tangible way. This is why the committee of the Endure Summer School asked me to drive you through this, let's say, trip in designing connected devices. But they also asked me something very strange, but I think, very, very smart by the point of organizing a course, a summer school. They told me when we met the first time for organizing the course, okay, they are coming here, they are mainly startups or let's say inventors pretending to become entrepreneurs. And they have ideas, they have concept. Some of them, they already have products. You need to send back them home without a product and with a lot of problems to be solved, doubts and questions to be answered. So today I will try to be the Freddy Krueger of your product. I want to become a nightmare for you. Okay? I want to be the one that pop out in your mind every time you think to a new feature for your product, because you need to have doubts and problems when you design. Otherwise, your marketing department will have problem and doubts in future, and it's too late sometimes. So, let's start with the definition, okay? We are gonna talk about connected devices. A connected device, I took this definition from these guys, and please have a look, because this is a post on a blog that, in my opinion, is very interesting and very complete. So, a connected device is a purpose-specific physical product that exists as part of a digital ecosystem, providing services. So it doesn't matter if your startup idea has or hasn't yet a physical connected device as part of your company idea. You can do together with me today the exercise of building, thinking, and designing a product that will be part, that will extend your business model, let's say, toward the physical world, still being part of the digital ecosystem you are designing. We are not going to talk about tablets, smartphone, apps, and any kind of computer-like device, because that are not physical connected devices, but are tiny computer with a different interface. Okay? So look at the graph. We are not talking at the picture. We are not talking about this and that. Okay? If you have an idea of new cloud stuff, is part of the digital service and ecosystem you need, but is not what we are talking about here today in these lectures. So the problem you have is that you probably are inventors. Okay? You have ideas and you go directly to the shape of the object you think is necessary for your business. But do you remember this movie? It's from the Gremlins. And this is the inventor's life, okay? And you want to become an entrepreneur, okay? And the trip from being an inventor to become an entrepreneur is very long, very complicated, and absolutely not straight, okay? There is a lot of bends and cross and so decision to necessary to be taken in order to become a successful entrepreneur, because everyone can try to be an entrepreneur, but it's the adjective that makes the difference. So again, this is not a lecture, this is an exercise we are going to do together, and it will be very interactive. The exercise is to redesign the object you have in mind. And if you don't have any object yet associated to your business model, the exercise is to think to a physical connected object, to a physical connected product that could become part of your, let's say, business model, of your company asset. In order to do this, what you have to do is to completely forget the thing. Okay? If you think you need a bottle, you are wrong. Or at least you need to start from this assumption in order to redesign from scratch the things itself. You need to think to the functionalities you want to add to your digital ecosystem. And never forget that, as I told you, a connected product is just a physical device that extends a digital service you are designing. So you need to start from the feature you want to expose as physical and tangible, and not from the object you like. So what we are designing is not a product, but is a service, is an experience we want to provide to our customers. The product will come later. Okay, this is one of the most famous products of the last 2 years. These guys invented this remote controlled camera. For who are Italian, do you remember Pupillo, the camera from Tre, the mobile company that was on the market something like 5 years ago, and was exactly this product. A remotely controlled camera with 3G connection that you can control from any smartphone if you are part of course, of the 3 network, with an extra cost of just paying the connection. I mean, the hardware was almost free. Exactly the same problem produced by a mobile company, by a 3G company, but I've never seen one of these products in any houses around the world, so probably no one bought that. And these guys raised enough money for paying the advertisement in the New York metro. So in the wagon, you have the advertisement of the canary. Can you imagine how much does it cost having all the wagons of the New York metro with this kind of advertisement? Is at the same level of promoting a very famous movie from DreamWorks. So the first exercise is, you try to define your product, describe your product in less than 5 words. Okay? Of course, you can use conjunction, pronoun, and whatever. This is what I made. It was very simple because I used the brief they published on the website. And in my opinion, this is an home security system you can control from your phone, nothing more. This is what this product is. Okay? You take a piece of paper and put your ideas there. Are you ready? Yeah. So please tell us the sentence, the phrase, and all the other will help me in understanding the product. So okay. Do not tell us nothing more than the phrase you wrote.
It's very simple. Bike sharing system you control from your phone.
Bike sharing system you control from your phone. Okay, this is very good because I mean, at least for me, I understood perfectly what you are talking about. So.
Can I introduce it?
Yes, please.
The process is a reduction process.
Okay.
It's the bike sharing service. No hardware bike sharing control. Bike sharing with long control.
Okay. Wonderful. Yes.
Reduce it. So the exercise is, say it the way you normally say it. Take out words and reorder them until you get the response.
Let's do like this.
Try to guess what you meant with the exercise.
Bike sharing system or service? What?
System or service. I don't know.
No, you tell me. Sorry, I
System.
forgot. You control from your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Bar burning systems. Yeah. The camping stove, Enki stove. Yeah. Actually, we don't have any, device connected, so I don't know. Maybe in the future, but not at the moment.
So tell me again, which is your business idea?
So basically, with design, we are already producing.
The exercise applies to everything from hanging wash on the lawn, right? So you can do this from any business.
Yeah, that's right.
The mantra of the test. So don't use the fact that it's not connected as an excuse not to do the exercise. You can do it anyway.
Yeah, that's right. We are just thinking about,
Okay, take your time.
Yeah. Still thinking.
Okay, no problem. You can take your time, and I'm sure that by the end of the lecture you will have a good idea, maybe another startup. Someone else? Sorry.
Design eyewear.
Innovative
Coffee made design eyewear.
coffee
Made
made
design
design or design designed
yes eyewear.
artwork.
Eyewear.
Ah, okay. No, sorry, hardware, eyewear.
Eyewear. You know the glasses.
This wrote like this? No. Wow, guys, what you understood from this? That's very challenging. I can't answer because I read the abstract of the companies, of course, for preparing these slides. But so, who has an idea of what this guy is doing? I mean, just listening at the brief, let's say. What is building? Is building eyeglasses, in my opinion. Or liquid eyeglasses that you can drink in the morning, and you solve your, myopia. Any idea of what he's doing?
Try it again. Good, let us try it again. Just say it again. You can change it.
What is happening here? I'm writing and nothing is.
All right. So innovative frames. Innovative coffee-made sunglasses with design. This is more specific, sunglasses.
Is the product sunglasses or is the product the material that the sunglasses being made?
Sorry?
Is the business the sunglasses? Is the business the glass frames or is the business
No, the material. The material.
Say it again, emphasize the material.
All right.
Not how the material is used.
So innovative.
What you're confusing is the potential use, the first use case that you like that you are assuming you're going to go after. Going back to an artist's talk yesterday, right?
Yep.
The assumptions. Remove the assumption, right? Because the core asset you have is the material. So your business is about the material. Somebody came to you and had a different use of the material, you would sell it to them as well.
Sure.
The business is the material.
Right. How you understood that he's talking about material?
No, because I was thinking that's from his phrase, it's not, you're absolutely right in the phrase you
Yeah.
can't get it.
It's very
you can't
general.
extract it.
Okay. The most difficult part of this exercise is that the phrase you are creating need to be a brief, so something you can use for selling your product, but in the meantime need to be also something you can tell me, I am the designer, you are paying for building your object, and you need to tell me this phrase when we shake our hands for the first time. I am here because I want to build this. This is really challenging. You need to convey an information that will drive customers, but in the meantime you need to explain technical people, let's say, designer, what you have in mind. Your phrase is related to a specific product, in my opinion, that is eyeglasses. Because you have designed it before. And you say, I want to build some kind of eyeglasses that have relationship with the coffee. So, please tell us what you are doing in a longer sentence.
I try a new one, you say.
No. Now just describe us in order to understand which are the differences between what you produce as a minimal sentence and what you really are here for.
Yeah, so basically...
Can you please speak on the mic?
We develop a coffee-made material.
See, yeah?
And we want to build up stuff with this coffee material. And the launch product should be the sunglasses or eyewear frames.
Okay. This is the typical example of what I'm talking about. You have a material, and you told me that you have an eyeglasses. But I asked you in the previous slides, please forget the things. And the things are the glasses. You are here for optimizing your product. And the product is the material. And your nightmare would be, I don't know if the glasses are the correct way for conveying the property, the feature, and the added value of my material. Okay? And I don't know the answer, but you probably don't know too. Guys, someone else? Oh, sorry, because he booked it. And I forgot, sorry.
Thank you. Instant hot water paying less.
So tell me the first word again.
Instant. Hot water paying less.
Instant hot water paying less. Wow. Are you selling water? Cheaper water.
Okay. No.
I read pre-warmed cheaper water. And guys, what is selling? Hey, there is a coffee machine here. Okay? Please, make a queue, take your coffee and go back to the lecture, because otherwise, I know how to build my product, okay? Sorry.
I must change.
You want us to kind of interrupt, to criticize their sentences, to try to understand why they might be, in our opinion, better? Because of course we more or less know after today, of course, who is producing what. Even though
Yeah, me too.
the best sentence, okay.
Me too. I know what we are talking about. I read the abstract of this presentation. I mean, this is a fancy exercise that need to bring you out of your comfort zone. Okay, let's be honest. Okay. You are very comfortable with your product. You wrote all your abstract and the kind of application for this summer school. And let's assume that everything is wrong there. If at the end of this trip you will demonstrate that it was correct, you are fine. Otherwise, you learned something. That's the main objective. So, let's say criticize, but at the end of the day, this is an exercise, it's a brainstorming we made all together. It's always proactive, is never a critic, is a way for helping us, all of us, improve the reliability,
Daniele, I must change my sentence.
Wow.
Is free-floating by sharing?
Give me 1 second, because I wanna do something like this.
Okay. Free-floating by sharing?
Free-floating,
Yeah.
like float.
Free-floating less. Or session-less. But free-floating sounds better for me.
Bike sharing,
Phone-controlled. Phone-controlled. As Ray suggests.
yeah. Bike sharing system control from your phone, free floating bike sharing from sharing phone control. Okay, in my opinion, this is a good improvement because you highlighted a feature that differentiates you. At least by the market point of view, now you move it in a different place. You say, I am stationless or free floating. And now I can accept that you have a controlled bike sharing. Otherwise, I say, hey guys, an RFID costs 50 cents. An app needs to be developed. Instant hot water. What you understood, guys? You know what it's doing, so try to be, agnostic.
He's selling water as a powder.
He's selling, in my opinion, he's selling pre-warmed water for a very cheap price in a box. I can buy in a supermarket.
Remember those coffee that something chemically get warm?
Yeah, but this, something like this. So, okay, the main component of an instant soup. Then you can buy the powder from someone else. You know, is the perfect product for trekkers, or for a skier, or for snowboarders. Okay, you wanna build a system for improving the way of warming water for home reason, for bathroom and whatever.
Yeah, of course. That.
Okay, you think?
So oculomotor feedback as cognitive profiling.
I got cognitive profile, but I lost the first words.
Oculomotor?
Ocular.
Oculomotor. No, oculomotor as one word.
Okay, ocular motor.
Oculomotor. O-C-U-L-O motor. Oculomotor. Yeah. Yeah, without the R.
Okay.
Oculomotor feedback as cognitive profiling.
I know what you are talking about, but...
Yeah, cognitive profiling.
As cognitive profile?
Profiling, ing at the end.
Okay. Guys, what she's doing?
Feedback, to have a feedback and to track a cognitive profile.
So does she have a product, or this is a service?
She just tracks the eyes.
So from this sentence, do you think is this something physical you can buy from?
Just a service.
It's just a service. So you put in front of a camera, you record a video of yourself, you send on the internet, and you have some feedback. And you have a report that say, this is your cognitive profile.
Well, we do have the system as well, but that's the shortest I can put it together with.
Yeah, okay. This is,
She's describing how, not the what.
this, see, exactly. This is the point.
This is how you're doing it. It's not what you're doing.
This is the service and how the service works. This is the service and how the service works. The service provides you a profilation based on cognitive data inferred through ocular motor system.
That's correct.
Try to come up with a phrase that describes not the features, but the form. The form, the shape.
So let's help her in building a product. I mean, at least in building the description, the short description of the product. And then we move to the next. Oh, you have a new sentence or you want to contribute?
No, new sentence.
So please, let's take another minute for her in order to, and then I move to you. Any idea of how improving or just giving her an idea? Do you already have an idea of a product?
So actually we use the augmented reality headset, which has the eye tracking cameras equipped to monitor.
An Oculus Rift equipped with the camera for tracking also the eye movements.
Sorry?
A sort of Oculus Rift, a sort of augmented reality scope.
Yes, so that tracks the eye
that
movement.
also tracks the, okay.
Yes.
So she needs like physical machine or?
This is what we are trying to do. We are helping her in designing a product that can be plugged to the probably algorithm she already have.
Yeah.
In order to extend
I don't remember if the project needs like physical machine to understand like the cognitive profile of the person.
Okay, but we are on Amazon. Okay, this is the exercise. We are on Amazon, and we want to buy a system for doing cognitive profiling through eye tracking. Please, what you type on the search bar of Amazon. Okay? Again, this is the service. This is the cloud service. She can sail to Azure, has a new module for doing video analysis that extract cognitive profiling and whatever. But here today, we are on Amazon Marketplace. We want to order something and we want to pay for shipment. Okay? It's something you need to receive and you can use as a present for your girlfriend. And never track your the cognitive profile of your girlfriend, okay? This is the lesson learned for today, please. And this is very complicated, guys. This is the most complicated sentence we have here, okay? Because there are thousands of products and of tangible shapes that can help us in solving, in reaching this
I have a sentence. Smart cognitive profiler for disease recognition.
Smart. This is
good? Yeah, you like it. Okay.
Suggested. Smart cognitive profiler
for disease recognition.
Disease.
I think it's for disease. Maybe?
Parkinson.
So for Parkinson detection or recognition.
This is a product. That I don't have any idea of how physically is made, but I know what I'm buying for. Why and why I'm buying this product. And I'm not interested in how you build the algorithm, how you're making the calculation. I know that I can give as a present for Christmas this to my grandfather in order to understand if he's healthy or not. You know, I know that that's the category of Amazon is together with the blood pressure measurement system, automatic measurement system. if I read this sentence. Okay? Go to you, and then we go to the next.
Firstly, I want to ask one question about all the lecture we have here. I want to know if some of my friends here explain their products, and I know their products can be used for more than this. For example, eye tracking can be used for drunk driving detection into the cars. And they mentioned only one aspect of the, or they are focused in one line, and they didn't want to see the whole process or what they can do next. Is this the right idea or right philosophy about the going to the markets, or they must be thinking bigger markets for their products?
I am an engineer, and I always do this error, okay? And every time I spoke with the guys from the business side, they told me, never mix the business models. So I don't have the straight answer to your question, because if the extension you have in mind is compatible with the main business model of your company, of your startup or idea, in my opinion, of course, it's positive to try to extend the functionality in that direction. But if you have in mind the smart cognitive profiler for Parkinson detection, that can be used also for customer experience analysis in supermarket, wow. Do you understand what I mean? You are in two completely far markets, and the main problem you will have is how to reach these two markets. How much effort you can have in your company, in your startup, for targeting the healthy market and the retail market. So, technically speaking, your answer, your doubt is totally correct, totally right. The problem is the consequences of your choices, of the extension, of the direction of the extension you are going to take. But this is a sort of personal opinion. I mean, okay, let's go ahead with because this kind of exercise can take the entire morning. So you adjust the phrase, now you have the money, or at least you can dream. And now, okay, which are the differences between these two products? Sorry, these two elements of a product. So you go online, you went online, and you bought your new Christmas present, okay? You bought a new smart TV, and you open the box, and you have these two things. Which are the differences?
One cares about the one on the left.
Sorry?
Typically, no one really cares a lot about the one on the left. You are
everyone,
focused on the right one, you know.
So everyone buy the right and use the left. This is
an accessory. Like,
okay,
you expect to find it, but probably you don't care if it's gray or black or blue, big, the shape or whatever.
You buy the right things and you use the left things. So please, using only verbs, let's try together in writing the functionalities of these two objects. I used the verbs, but if you want, you can add adjectives and nouns to help you describing what the verb refers to. Okay, so are you ready for the TV and remote description in terms of verbs?
One thing, we couldn't make read the papers for the exercise of Daniele, so please ask you to do it like in a blank paper. If you can help us like writing your name at the end of the lecture, and then you keep it for you, and we keep.
So the short exercise was writing the verbs of these two products. So control and show, you can't select, I selected. And any other functionality in terms of verbs to be associated with the remote and with the TV? Infrared sender. Okay, then? Pulse. Pulse maker. It's not a verb. It's not a functionality. It's inputting or outputting what? Also, this is really borderline because the verb is maker. Sound maker. Can I write reproducer? Guys, it's a TV. Huh? Entertain.
Connecting device.
Sorry?
For the remote and stand for the television stay.
It's an adjective.
The challenge is that there's a difference between
Guys, features and functionalities and properties are two different kind of things. Okay, you can have a remote controller. You can change the channels with your feet.
So.
Sorry. Hotels television since 10 years ago were having remote controlled all in the furniture, for example, or in the airplane. The remote is on the chair, so it's a property, but not a feature. The feature is that select the channel, select the input source. Could be. It's a smart TV. Sorry?
To the web.
Navigate. Surf the web.
Texting for the
Messages. No one is receiving something from the radio. Share is different from sound reproducer. So you have a TV that is producing video pulses, sound for entertainment. You can go online. You can send messages, but you are not connected to any antennas or to any DVD or to any kind of input source.
Remote control has a mobility.
Sorry, tell me again what the verb is.
Remote controller has mobility. Is one of the functions of.
Sorry, control.
Remote control, mobility, easy usage, and multiple function. You can control the volume of the TV, and you can change the channel.
Okay, quindi, so One is here sender. Another possibility I got from your phrase is to change channel.
Channel.
And does your sentence contain also other verbs and nouns?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Is it fine?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's not fine.
I mean,
Look at the screen.
That's very complicated. Guys, this exercise could be very boring, but at the end of the day, demonstrate that you don't know how your products are made for, how the products are made for. So how we can be, how we can think, we can build our product, the product of the future. We can become millionaire without knowing why the product we can buy from the supermarket has been made in that way. So no one figured out that a TV needs to be connected to some kind of source. So in my opinion, a verb that is missing there is the code. Okay? You are buying a smart TV because there are DVX codec there. You are buying a smart TV because can be plugged to HDMI stuff. So first of all, you select the smart TV on the basis of how good is in converting streams and making the best entertainment experience with you. And no one listens to this. And another thing is that we go through the physics directly, video pools maker, and no one say image reproducer. Let's go later to how we build images. But the main functionality we want to have in a TV is showing pictures, is showing images. I mean, very fast, so building videos. So it's a video reproducer.
For remote, fit or couple with your hand?
Sorry, tell me again.
Fit your hand, the remote.
Yeah.
Couple your hand. You have to fit to couple with your hand.
To
fit, couple,
I mean,
couple.
grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
functionality, you created a mind funnel for all of them. They are thinking about electronic connectivity and stuff like that. But that's fundamental because it is a constraint
of the design, and graspability or easy to be manipulated is a key, and a constraint, hard constraint for this kind of object.
You like this? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is the way I'm trying to do these lectures today. It's very provocative. You know, I came here, we connected product. You know that we will talk about Arduino and all this fancy stuff, but you will not reach that point until you will need what you're looking, why you need that kind of stuff. Okay, but I am becoming boring. So now let's do the same exercise for your product. Please. I mean, let's start with the exercise. Only the functionalities in terms of verbs of your products, okay? The one we tried to summarize in the exercise before, and I'm trying to go back to the monitor.
The product before? The product before or not?
Your product.
Ah.
The one you described, or you
we have a new product.
You don't have?
No, we have. We invent it now.
So, which is the question?
Is a weather-depending roof for saving clothes.
No. Okay, I mean,
and I have
you
the
think
features.
for yourself. I mean, or we summarize at the end or during the break in a general document. Otherwise, if we need to to analyze the product of everyone, this will be the entire course. So please, let's assume that the description is fine, or at least we will check later, but at least you have an idea in mind of a product. Now please list the functionalities of your product. And what we are trying to do, please help me in this. Now the students will interact with me, will be the one that haven't interacted in the previous exercise. So please list the functionalities and you will tell me later, okay?
Detect weather.
Detect weather.
Uh-huh.
Do you see this? Okay.
Save my clothes.
Select.
Save. Repair. Save my clothes. And
I just wrote clothes.
don't make me think about it. Don't make me think about it. It's not a functionality anyway.
It is, but it's take care. I mean, don't think and you forget your habit, your clothes. You don't have any more. Throw away. Save my clothes, take care for me of them.
Can I say something? That's a clear example of what we said during Vinci lecture. Saying detect weather is self-generating the future problem you could have. Because detecting weather means inventing a new hygrometer for measuring the humidity, measuring temperature, stuff like that. Detecting is related to measuring. And you are digging your grave immediately. So you are self-generating problem for the future. Think about that also before, and the lecture is going exactly as he designed, is forcing you to make the wrong decision in expressing what you think, in figuring out, in formalizing your product. And this is the part of a correct way of developing new ideas. So it is a clear example, but probably all of you and all of us during our day life are doing the same. It is really interesting to criticize ourselves, to see if another person in the group is able to destroy the way we are expressing our product, and start from that point in order to see if a different shape of the product can be conceived.
Lorenzo, tell us the phrase, the description of the product.
Is a weather-depending canopy. I don't know. We look for the word now. It's like a little roof.
Tell me again, sorry. Where?
Weather-depending roof for saving clothes.
Weather-depending. Because you describe it.
Because I forgot my clothes outside, so it would be useful.
Depending.
Weather depending. Canopy. C-A-N-O-P-Y. Canopy is like a tetoya.
Like this? No, I think this is something different.
With O. Can-O-P.
Why not making a room for this stuff? Okay?
Okay,
Wardrobe.
roof.
Wardrobe.
Well, no. Canopy. Canopy is the right word.
Tettoia.
Tettoia.
And then you will tell me the
For
word.
saving clothes.
So you are saving your clothes outside of your house?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is Aurora. You don't have enough space anymore in your wardrobe. You need to move your part of your clothes outside, and you need to be sure that everything will be fine. No?
No, it's because you've made a washing machine and you put your clothes outside, but then it is getting raining. And
Guys, you are completely crazy. So you have a product for solving the problem of drying clothes during raining days, and you described me as a tettoia, weather depending, probably is a motorized tettoia that extends.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, for saving clothes. That, in my opinion, means that during the summer I will put my pullover there, and during the winter there will be the shorts there.
Yes.
In the tettoia that is adjusting the roof. And this tettoia detects the weather.
No, the
That's very
weather
cool. I
is
have
not
an app.
right. It's connected to a weather station on internet, and no.
It is not abstract enough. The only function is gathering weather information. Who cares? Who cares? Because how is not important. Otherwise, you stick to a solution, and it is totally wrong.
And because I share half of my brain with Gualtiero, today I'm not agree with him, because it's wrong also gather weather information.
It's more abstract.
The only important things in here is help you in drying your just washed your washed clothes. This is the product, okay? The new way of drying clothes. It could be part of a washing machine, a weather-powered dryer. The weather-powered dryer. Okay, guys, any other list of features? Someone that didn't interact with me? Oh, my best students.
So I'm gonna. I need everyone's help. Okay. I'm not gonna give you my background today, but I'll give it to you on Monday or Tuesday. All I'll say is that I have a lot of experience, and I'm gonna show you how hard these exercises are, because even though I have a lot of experience, I still don't know how to do these properly, okay? So just to make it easier for you to try, and so that you understand that it's not about getting it wrong. I'm willing to get it completely wrong, and even if I've done this many, many times, I still will get it wrong, but I'm willing to try, okay? So as I throw things out there, and I get it wrong, help me. I want you to criticize to make the idea better, okay? So let me give you the first nonsense 5 words, okay? The first nonsense 5 words are sky, selfie, see everything, everywhere.
Skies?
Sky, like the sky.
Yeah.
Selfie, like a selfie stick, but a selfie stick from 100 meters in the sky. And then see everything, everywhere.
Okay.
And then the verbs for the product is, you can call it Sky Selfie as the name of the product.
Yeah, I'm gonna put later.
Okay, so the first verb is launch.
Launch.
Launch, propel, or launch, propel, or something. Right?
Oh, I don't remember. No, this is eating. Okay.
Okay, the second verb is take photo or video. Third verb is land safely, meaning when it comes down it can't break, right? Next one is view photo or video.
I lost the verb.
View, to see, view, photo. Show, photo or video. It's a better word. Okay, next one is stitch to panorama.
Panorama?
Panorama, yeah. Panoramic video.
You mean being able to do panoramic video?
No, to make it from what it took. So it's a post process or something to construct the panoramic video. And then I don't know if this is a feature or a function or an attribute or a constraint. I'm not sure what this one is, but it's to take the photo or video at the highest point.
Okay.
Right, so it's going to launch, and I only want it when it hits the highest possible point. That's when it's to take the video, not when it's going up and going down, which would be not useful. Okay, so now I'll criticize myself. The first 5 words, I'm not sure that you can understand what I'm talking about, right? Because I mixed a bunch of things. I'm trying to get a product name, but not really, I'm not sure what it means. I'm trying to invoke the activity that I see when people at the tower, like this with the selfie sticks, and they want to go very high. So I'm trying to invoke, and I don't have the right words to make it thing. I want to be able to do it wherever I am, right? Meaning that I'm not going to get stopped by the police. I'm not going to get a ticket. I'm not going to get shut down. I'm not going to break something or whatever, right? So I don't know what the right words are to describe it, so I need help with that.
In my opinion.
And then the features that the verbs that I used, I'm not sure if they're features, if they're functions, if they're attributes. It's not. So the point is that I'm struggling to try to invent a product in a business, right? Because I'm going through the exercises myself, right? Just and I'm having trouble figuring it out.
You suggested the clock. There is someone here with the product, with the clock, Gualtiero. Ah, dello smart, del bike sharing, okay. I don't know your name,
I have
let's
two
say
verbs. Yeah, improve access to bikes.
Provide.
Improve. Improve.
Include.
Empower. Improve.
Improve.
And the second one is take care of the bikes.
Okay. So, any idea of how Ray could improve this description? Because thanks to the verbs, I understood more of what he has in mind than from but of course the most difficult exercise is creating the description. Otherwise everyone would be a good communicator. I mean, everyone will have a communication agency. I mean, a top one communication agency. In my opinion, my suggestion is you use a keyword that is very well known around the world. So in my opinion, sky selfie is enough. You don't need 5 words. Yeah. Because sky contain the wide idea that, in my opinion, I mean, everything everywhere are sort of sub-property of a sky.
Right. And actually, it's not everything, it's everyone. No, I said everything everywhere, but now when you said you don't need the words, I realized that it's not actually selfie, it's really to take a picture of the whole group.
Yeah, but it's very interesting what you say. You say everyone, because a sky selfie could be perceived. We're just brainstorming, okay? Please come in. A sky selfie could be perceived as something not accessible to everyone. You have to send a rocket in the sky, and you say, "Wow, how can I buy something like that? How can I manage? How can I drive, control?" So, it's a sky selfie for everyone.
No, what I meant is a selfie. It's a selfie not of the person, but it's a selfie of the group. Right. So it's not technically a selfie, right? That's why I'm struggling because I want to take a picture of this whole group, but from up there.
Okay.
I know about a product that already exists, that is consists in a ball that has 360 cameras, and when you throw it in the air, at the top of the acceleration, it takes the photo and yes, you launch it like a rocket.
That's. Let's go in this direction. Let's use a product that already exists.
Actually, we could generalize the verb in order to keep all the similar together. So launch is just a way for increasing the A of this system, and we can find a lot of alternative solutions. One is throwing, the other is launching, the other one is creating, I don't know the name, I don't remember the name, for
selfie, panorama.
No, per il non si chiama sommergibili, si chiama dirigibili.
Yeah, guys, we are building an overkilling product, okay?
No, but the fact is that the verb, in my opinion, is too specific. That you have only one thing, you have to increase the A for taking pictures.
Right. So it's not really launch.
Yeah.
It's really maximize the height,
Yeah.
to capture it as much as possible.
So, do we all agree that this is an automatic selfie maker from high that allow us to have wider picture of groups of people or of panoramas or whatever? And it's very interesting. Please give me 1 second. It's very interesting that there is a similar product, and you say that it is a 360 camera. Let's shift a bit the exercise, okay? Let's imagine that Ray proposed us a flying, launching 360 cameras for wide group selfie. Can you please help me to criticize this solution? I'm gonna suggest you, the problem is 360 camera. And you need to tell me why this is a problem. Scusa Lorenzo, se no... Me too.
360 degrees camera.
Me too. I have a solution, okay? I suggest you the product. You take a cat, you put the camera on the belly of the cat, and that's all. You launch the cat, cats are always standing, and you have what you need, okay? And you don't need So please, Gabriele, can you please take a cat? We need a cat. See, yeah, and a cat and a GoPro, and we prototype it. So the question, that's the point. Why you need a 360 camera, then at least 180 degrees of your field of view are just blue.
Because the ball can be reversed, and that's because you state the problem in the wrong way.
That's the only reason, because you designed the technology you want to put in the product, not the product. Put a piece of metal in a side of the ball, and you will have a ball that fly always looking down. And you take the picture only when the accelerometers say that you are flying in that direction. You take 1 millisecond, so you will not take in the picture exactly at the top, you will take the picture 0.1 millisecond later. You can survive. And you will be smiling enough also at that side. I mean, this is what Gualtiero is saying. And this is what I said in my first slide. Don't forget the things. Because if you think to the things, be an inventor, necessarily you will be driven in selecting the technology. But you don't have yet defined the correct idea in terms of concept for your product that will make you safe in designing the proper product.
Then he came out.
The cat.
The problem
just pinching on the tail. that's a solution.
Like this.
Yeah, you can bend. You can launch the cat. You know, there are various solutions. Or you can launch the Kit Kat or the food for the cat. I mean, I don't know. You can launch the ball.
That's a
you
nice
can put
way, but maybe some bodies love animal hairs. And
I mean, we are not. I'm not dealing with ethics.
Want to test it.
I'm not dealing with ethics in this lecture. Okay, that's a problem you will have with your business. But for the bolts with the 360 camera, you can add a spring, or you can have a sort of, I don't know how you say in English, an elastic way of launching. There are thousands of ways. Of course, if you tell me I want to build a drone that takes you picture from the height you want, probably, in my opinion, this is an overkilling product for a selfie maker.
It's an interesting, I talked to a number of people, and I talked to a number of people about this thought, and 2 people gave me ideas about how to implement it. Right, and then I didn't know that there was an existing product, but I have a whole range of solutions. Right, he's joking about the cat, but I actually have thought about a pigeon, a carrier pigeon, and remotely controlling, releasing it. Right, so they take photos of it as they're flying. So you know, it's not. He gave what sounded like a ridiculous idea, but if you actually think, okay, how do you make use of animals, right? People have put cameras on dogs, cats, but what about pigeons or other types of birds, right? So, and the issue is drones are very expensive. It's how do you make something for $20 that would actually accomplish the goal, right? Going back to the pretotyping, right? Just as an example, just as a test. Right?
So, okay, let's prototype it. Okay, so. Take your paper, your paper, and write the board. You select the microcontroller or microprocessor or whatever kind of prototyping board you would select for building this product, and just list the sensors and actuator you think you need to buy. Okay, you go online on a do-it-yourself marketplace. And just prepare the chart. You want to order for prototyping, not pretotyping, because you learned it just yesterday. So you are building the prototype because you think that the idea is solid and the concept you developed are ready to justify that you spend money for buying the material. Okay? Your product. Your product, we helped all together. We helped each other in fixing some problem of the product. And it's up to you. If you already have an idea, just order the material. Or if you want to take some kind of input you received from the rest of the audience, take this into consideration during the preparation of the chart. And again, this is very important also as a link for with the lecture of yesterday, considering that you are strong enough to skip the prototyping phase, okay? You are building a demonstrator. You are preparing the chart because you have a meeting with an investor in 3 weeks, and you think that you can go there with something working, okay? With the minimum viable product.
Daniele, so there is an anonym here that wants to be hidden, that is asking what is a control board?
Is in the next slide.
I knew it.
Yeah, because they will select the wrong one, okay? So I'm gonna tell why. And that's
Yeah, but say in general.
Okay, yeah, you are right. Is a skateboard, okay. Okay, you are right. Okay, we are building a connected product, okay? A product, so in the definition of connected product, this is an electronic device that can connect to the network for doing something. This is the added value you are going to have in your digital service. A connected product is composed of 3 main elements: sensors for perceiving, actuator for changing the world, for conveying information or physical stimuli to the world, and a reasoning unit. The control board is the reasoning unit. It's the one that takes data from the sensor and control the actuator for providing the functionalities you selected, you defined to the object, okay? Is the brain. First lecture of a robotic course. Typical control paradigm. Sense, control, or perceive. Sense, control, and actuate. You need to sense the world, analyze it, and according to the analysis and to the model you put in here, you actuate. And what you have is this. Because the actuation will change the world. This is what is known as closed control loop. Is someone ready? La tettoia? Help me. Have you already described your product?
Recycled bots? No, I haven't. Could we do it now?
Recycling box.
Recycled bot. Recycled bot. Bot.
Bot.
Like robot.
Wow.
Okay. Could I read you also the sentence? So a rapid bus collector for lazy guys. Waste collector.
Oh, so I'm gonna order one. Dust collector.
No, waste collector. Sorry.
Waste.
Waste collector. For lazy guys.
It's written like this, lazy?
Yeah. Lazy guys. And our main board is an Arduino one with a Yun shield.
With?
Yun, Y-U-N.
Is an Arduino one or a Yun?
There is a shield, an Arduino one with a shield. There is another piece of board on it.
So you're using an Arduino one,
yes,
shielded on top on Arduino Yun?
No.
We choose to get a shield, a Yan shield, on top of Arduino one.
I like you guys. This will be very interesting. Yan. No, they both have shield. This is the chart. This is the chart they compile, okay? You compile the chart ordering Arduino 1, then you order it. Let's do like this. Let's help the other. Okay. The Yan shield is, the Arduino one is the controller, and the Yan shield is the Wi-Fi connection. You bought for this, okay? Do you know the prices? This is $20, and this is?
About 30. $30.
30? $30. And then you have sensors.
Sensors are a barcode reader.
That is $20.
4 buttons. And actuators are servo motors, 2 servo motors, 2 servos. And 1 LCD.
SD card? LCD.
Yeah. And probably in the controls part we have also.
I have a marketplace. You can
power supply. A power supply also.
A power supply.
I don't know where to put it.
Shall I
it's
put
not
the
an actuator, okay? Probably a...
Okay. Power supplies and batteries are
basic.
free for today, okay? So don't, because I can't, my religion doesn't allow me to put a power supply in sensor, actuator, and control.
In fact,
I'm sorry.
out of the scale.
Okay, you spend 50, 70, 90, 100, 110. Wow, okay. A very good minimum viable product. You will rise a couple of million, so you have a lot of margin. Any other? No, Ray, no. Your chart will be so long. Oh, give me 1 minute. Okay. Do you have a description of
the product?
Yeah.
A robot to measure, to test quality of experience of mobile apps.
Measure
to test, sorry, quality of experience.
User or cognitive?
User experience.
And you use it.
Okay, we use the Arduino 1. A smartphone. Samsung S3, for example. iPhone, what you prefer?
Non ce lo posso mettere, no.
Ah, ok.
Because it's not the product. is what you are testing. Or otherwise I need to meet here one human. Let's decide all together. Shall we pay for human and we put in the minimum viable product also the humans?
No.
No? We remove also the mobile.
But we want to test the mobile interface.
But what you are selling in Amazon? Are you selling a box where you can
understand.
put inside a mobile with a specific app?
No, okay. I understand, okay. So, a mini PC. I know it's an expensive prototype. Okay.
Is this a Raspberry? You can tell.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
my religion for
Raspberry
today, my religion allows me.
Okay, Raspberry.
You know that you need to justify me why.
Yes, actually,
Okay.
maybe a Raspberry is not powerful enough. I will explain why.
This is not a justification. I always try with my teacher of mathematics. I am not smart enough, but I always got the same sensor.
Actually, the sensor is the Raspberry, in a way. Well, the sensor is the thing that gives me the feedback. Yes, okay, is the Raspberry.
Tell me the physics.
Okay.
Behind the perception.
You capture the screen of the mobile with you connect the USB cable of the mobile to your mini PC, to the Raspberry or whatever, and. Okay.
No, through USB. There is screen mirroring.
Yes, something like that. You use a feature of the phone, so you can see on if the Raspberry was connected to a screen, you will see on the screen of the mobile.
Screen mirroring on the Raspberry, and the Raspberry record the video. Okay.
So the sensor is.
I got the point. Other physics? You touch, you do something?
Well, yes, we touch the screen with a 3D printed robot, with the bot. Thanks to the feedback, because we measure, we use a
because Android.
We use computer vision on the board, on the Raspberry, to see how the screen change, and we understand if the robot touched where you told him, and normally when you touch on a certain point, you will expect the screen to change. So you see the changing in the screen, and you say, okay, I touched it here, so I do this and that. And you feedback on the robot to move somewhere else. It's very difficult to describe, actually.
No, I got the point.
I didn't realize. No, we did it. We did the prototype. We did the prototype.
So
I can show you the video.
So the actuator are
the actuator is the R3
X, Y, Z.
Well, we designed it as a delta. Is a delta. So there are three, but it's we discovered.
Okay, is a delta X, Y, Z. How you say mover?
Yeah, is
moving
a
plane.
Robot.
No, robot.
Yes. I think that's it.
That includes motors and whatever,
yes,
for something like 300.
Yeah, probably, yes.
And this costs $5.
Yeah.
No, with a Raspberry is.
Yeah.
And this guy costs.
Yeah, you have to. Okay, the actuator is that. Okay.
Are you fine? I mean,
yeah.
Just tell me.
More or less, yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
Any other except Ray? The smart lock for the bikes. Wow, we saved the product. It was a bike sharing, and now it became a smart lock. Wow. Huh?
Daniele, there is another question from my hidden friends that they don't show up. What is Arduino?
Can you send me here your friend? I need help. Come with me. Stay here with me.
I apologize, but I don't know what it is. I suppose it's a control, yeah, but...
Be patient.
It's another kind of...
I need 3 slides more for answering your point, and also the previous. Okay, let's the bike sharing, and then we analyze a bit this, and we move ahead, because bike sharing, bike shadow. S-H-Y?
S-H-Y-K-E. Oh, Shike is the name. Only Shike. Share your bike. Huh?
Control. Sensor.
Actuators.
Actuator.
Yes, control Arduino with the Bluetooth connectivity. And sensor, GPS module. And the accelerometer. And 4 button, I don't know if it's enough. I think so. And the actuators is a locker engine. Or something like this. Motor, okay. And 4 LED.
Quaranta, 65, 80, 90, 100. Okay.
Daniele, just for clarity, can you explain? Yeah. Just for clarity, can you explain why you are? I know why, but I would like you say the reason why you are putting both the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth within the control. Because from a theoretical point of view, they should be on both sensor and actuator, and probably that's the reason why.
That's the reason why, because it's a sensor and an actuator, but at the end of the day, it's perceived as a feature of the controller.
Okay.
Nowadays. Generally speaking, by the theoretical point of view, it's totally wrong, but because it's becoming a commodity of a controller that you can buy, plug it all together, let's say Broadcom, I prefer to put that just for simplicity for today, but I agree with you, it's theoretically wrong.
The canopy.
No, we have 3 products.
Okay.
Are you proposing your? Let's analyze this. Otherwise, it will become too long. Okay. Okay, the recycle boat. So you came to me and you say, okay, you need to help me in building this product because I made this stuff, but it's not ready or doesn't work enough well and very well in order to allow me to go to the investors, okay, with this minimum viable product. I was thinking that this was enough. Okay, and the first things I will ask you is why you selected this stuff. And the first question is why you choose an Arduino Due and then you put on top a Yun shield. And now I'm going to try to answer your question.
We choose the Arduino one because it's cheap, it's easy to program. Instead of buying a Raspberry Pi, we added Yun Shield, which has the Wi-Fi connection and the USB port, and as in OS, a Linux OS based, which can handle the Python script. So that's the main reason is cheap and modular.
Okay, so for you and also for you, Arduino is a microcontroller. It's a board that allow you to read from sensor, do some calculation, and actuate thanks to the changing of the electrical state of some connections. Okay, you plug the motors on one side, you plug the sensor on the other side, and inside you write some code that say when this happen, I'm gonna do this on the actuator. But you need Wi-Fi connectivity.
Yes.
So you took another microcontroller. No, you took a microprocessor that is plugged to a Wi-Fi radio, because you will write part of your code in Python on the other processor, probably because it's too complicated to be written in C for Arduino, the part you need for the web.
Yes.
But you started your sentence says that it's cheap and easy to program. How much you ask for 1 hour of your work? Are you a programmer?
Yes.
How much are you paid per hour?
For someone...
if I ask you to develop a piece of code for me, how much I need to pay you for 1 hour of coding?
1 hour, about 30 euro. Because
30
we
euro.
are friends.
Okay. So if you take more than 5 hours for writing something on the Arduino, and then you selected also another board because it was too complicated for writing for that, you could buy a PC, a computer. Okay?
Understand.
You know, I'm not doing lecture for startupping or whatever, but every time you go to a startup competition, the first things they will tell you that the real value you have is the team. So you are, and unfortunately, this is the end of my presentation, but it's time to tell you now. You are building product using the most popular category of Amazon, and not what you have in mind. You all have an Arduino because you decided that you need an Arduino because all your friends are using an Arduino, and because the entire world is using Arduino. But you never asked yourself why you are buying an Arduino. Okay? Because the Arduino Yun, for you, is another board from Arduino that is based on a very powerful engine and also goes online. Okay? So why not using just the Yun?
Because Arduino Yun is expensive than with our solution.
So the Arduino Yun board itself is more expensive than the shield plugged on top of an Arduino Uno. So let's say $50 for the solution you propose and $70 for the other.
Yes.
And the problem I imagine is that you have in mind that you will produce 1,000 of them, and you say, wow, where is our margin? why you are building them, this product? Are you building this product for going with one minimum viable product, one prototype to an investor, or you want to go in production?
Oh, no, it's only a prototype for investors, and for production will be produced a PCB ad hoc.
So you are saving $20?
Yeah.
Okay. But you will program for a week?
I don't think that there's a big difference between Jan Shield and Jan board in terms of developing.
I want to show you something. Do you know these guys? $19 development board, 32-bit with Wi-Fi on board. It's programmable in the same language you use for programming an Arduino, and they also offer you a cloud connection you can use for prototyping your product.
I'm sure there's a better solution than we choose, but instead of spending our time in finding the perfect solution in prototyping, we just picked up the first we find.
Perfect. Forget the things is the lesson.
Yes, to get the things working fast.
I'm not saying absolutely that your design is wrong, because it's not up to me. I don't have the elements for evaluating this. What I'm saying is that according to what you are, to the story of your design process you are telling me, you selected a technology that is inside your comfort zone. Then you started using this technology. You find the limitation, but you didn't accept to go really out from your comfort zone, criticizing your solution, your basics, so you extended the functionalities of the solution you designed with something new that is a bit not completely far from your comfort zone. And you feel, you feel happy with this because you say, I have the power. You know that you can manage this solution. You say, oh, I'm fine with this and whatever. In my opinion, the real question you need to answer yourself is how much time I spent in developing and how much time I would have spent in selecting another way. And I don't have the answer, but probably you don't too. So that's the answer.
I have an answer for this. For getting the boards, I spent about 2 hours. It's
for having everything ready.
For having ready, yeah. Because
okay.
I'm using these boards for several projects, so I prefer having modular shields. When one project ends, I utilize the same shield for other projects.
Okay.
I think the approach for prototyping is perfectly fine. I mean, you started with the closest things you had in your desk, and starting with the Arduino Uno, plugging a shield is perfectly fine. Imagine the process of prototyping the first object and starting a new prototype for testing something different. We have to understand how fast can you change the board or the solution. What Daniele was suggesting is in my opinion, you didn't select at the beginning. You had the Arduino, so just take it and test it. And for the prototype is fine. But what for the next step? Because you are investing time in the first prototype, and then you have to decide if throwing it away or not, or sticking with this kind of product. And the more time you spend in prototyping with the same board, probably the more resistant you become in changing. So understand, really, my wish is to push you in analyzing critically the step from first prototype to the second one, to the third one, and so on. And at a certain point, you have to decide what is the most suitable, not the best, most suitable board for the development of new prototypes. Okay, that could be something you can think about. For sure, the first decision was the fastest one, so the right one. But what for the next?
Maybe our case is not common because our prototype starts working after a few days of job, and we didn't put our hands on anymore. We are waiting for understand where the project have to go, and then we start to develop or understand which is better solutions. We had 1 week work and stop. We stopped our work in understanding where the project have to go. So I understand we have to choose the board for developing, and as he said we have to choose the right solution to go on. But we didn't start yet looking for the better solution, because before we want to understand which way we go before doing something else.
Yeah, totally agree with Gualtiero. Is a perfect process for a prototyping phase. The risk is what Gualtiero raised, and it's something that is real. We saw in a lot of startups, because in your life as an entrepreneur, it will be happen, because you will have success, I'm sure, but it will be happen is that in 6 months you will be so busy that you will not have enough energy for redesigning your solution. And that will become a nightmare, okay? Because at that point, the cross will be very difficult to be taken. But I totally agree with you that for prototyping, the best things to do is staying in the comfort zone. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you are not prototyping, when you are reading something during the night, please try to break your comfort zone, because probably it's wrong. And this is for everyone. First of all, for me.
So the problem is that we obviously can choose another platform or another way to calculate something, but it's not that the point.
Yeah, but
the point is and just yesterday night we find probably another innovation, but it's not in electronic.
Clear.
I'm not really interested in which kind of board, because probably the final one it will be what I never understand now, because I'm not an electronic engineer. So the point is, we have to find an innovative solution to choose which material we have to select inside our collector. And we are working on this problem, not in electronics. So this is only the reason we don't have make another innovation on another step over what we have done right now.
I'm going out of my comfort zone in entrepreneurship skills.
That's very interesting because, you know, it's easier because you don't have a comfort zone there. So it's the easier thing to do. You know, every time with Gabriele, you know, we need to analyze for our company the business model. Oh, I perfectly fine out of that comfort zone. It's like this. It's completely empty. It's almost empty. So I totally understand what you are feeling. Right.
Yeah. So it's what you're pursuing is called competency-based entrepreneurship, right? You start with what you can do, and then you figure out some goal, and then you fill in the pieces, right? So part of what we're doing this week with the first day, we gave you some techniques and strategies on how to think about things. So that's a new skill, a new competency. You can think of it as a platform that you're building, okay? Then the second day, we went through the Pretotyping, and if you listen to what Leonardo said yesterday, he actually applies it to his life, okay? It's a mindset. So in that sense, it's a platform, okay? Again, so first day with some skills that you can add, some new ways of thinking. Second day is some skills plus the new ways of thinking. Third day is now skills with a new way of thinking, okay? So what he's suggesting and what he's offering has a theme that it's a platform, right? So he's saying it was a good attempt, but you used the default, right? Which is what was the easiest, as opposed to thinking, I'm doing this now for the next 20, 30 years. Let me just spend half a day, maybe looking, searching, to figure out, is there a good starting point for a platform for me to then prototype and then for me to explore? Because this is only your first idea. You're going to have maybe 10 other ideas. Waste management is a huge industry, okay? I can tell you direct stories of companies that have made a lot of money in this particular area and a lot of money being invested, right? So it's not one product. You have to think of, this is an interesting area for you to explore. As you said, there's many business models, many business products that you can come up with. But if you approach it from these skills as a platform, it broadens, it stretches, and opens up a lot of possibilities, right? Because then you gain the one skill, you can use it over and over and over again, right? This prototyping thing is not for you to do it once. What you're doing here is just the first exercise, all right? But you need to do it 10 times, 15 times with completely different things. That's why even I'm going through all the lessons as a student, because I have to do it over and over and over and over. It's like exercising. If I don't do it, I lose the skill, right? I lose the flexibility.
So let's do a step further. We will use also the afternoon for discussing and and analyzing your ideas in a more, let's say, interactive way. There will be no slides and static content. There will be a very interactive session and a real hands-on, because we will test the Zering development environment that I'm going to introduce you later. So please, also for the mobile testing application, I will keep this note, and we will analyze, in groups later. Why? Because I would like you to show these slides also for our hidden friends that was asking for the Arduino. This is the Arduino. Who knows the other stuff on your right? Ray knows. Let's say less than 50% of this audience. Who heard about Arduino before these lectures? Before.
I did not care about it.
Huh?
I did not care about it before.
Heard. So this is the Raspberry Pi, Okay? Who knows the difference between the two? Please help me. No, Ray. Please help me. Tell something. Oh, let's say Arduino. Okay?
Arduino is basically a microcontroller.
It's a microcontroller.
Okay. It has pin and stuff to input and output electric signals to control motor, actuator, and receive inputs from sensors. Like Raspberry Pi is more like a smart card PC, mini PC. It's a computer.
Okay.
In a way.
Very good, very good. Please, I mean, I am very, let's say rational. Help me in describing the features. It's a microcontroller, has pins for input and output of electronic signals, and I'm gonna add can acquire analogic signals. Who is not confident with this? The difference between who has problem with digital versus analogic? Is what I'm saying is clear to everyone? Any doubts? Okay, you are all confident with this kind. You are all understanding what I'm saying. Digital versus analogic. Okay. The Raspberry Pi you said is more like a mini PC. Okay. Let's go in detail. What does it mean? Any other contribution? Has a user interface. And you mean a graphical user interface, I can imagine. So you want to say that has a video output.
Yes, HDMI.
And can be plugged with USB control interfaces like a mouse or a keyboard.
Yes.
You say like this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we have a mini PC versus a microcontroller. Okay, they have one thing in common. That is your problem. They are both very cheap. Okay, so because you think with your wallet, when you go on the marketplaces, you put these two guys at the same level. Okay. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna demonstrate you what I'm saying with data later. Okay, let's go back to the real lectures. What is a microcontroller? A microcontroller is an integrated circuit that integrates in a single chip. For a chip, I mean a piece of silicon assembled like a single unit that you can solder on a board. Is a single chip that includes a processing unit, various devices and peripherals for doing what you are saying. Acquiring digital signal, acquiring analog signal, actuate digital signal. So various peripherals together with a memory for storing your code, and a memory for random access calculation, what you know as RAM of your computer, integrated all together. Okay? A microprocessor is just a computational unit with some what they are called buses. So connections to be plugged to the famous external peripherals we were talking about. So, in detail, a microprocessor need an external RAM memory, need an external flash memory for the program storing, need an external analog to digital converter, need an external digital to analog converter, has some digital input output, but it's just a special case. The Raspberry Pi, the computers, the smartphone, and all the kind of product we are not talking about today are based on microprocessor. The product we are trying to design today, the famous connected product, you can put in your wallet, or you can put in your car, or in your bracelet, or whatever, are based on microcontroller. This summarizes what I'm saying. A microcontroller is a microprocessor plus all the needed peripheral integrated in a single solution. You can buy as a single physical and tangible unit. In summary, the main difference is the purpose. Microcontrollers are designed for single specific application. In the typical life of a microcontroller, once a microcontroller has been programmed, it will do the same task, it will run the same code, it will execute the same application for its entire life. Okay? A microprocessor is typically designed for multi-purpose application. So on a tablet, you can run a document reader or a game. Doesn't matter about the hardware. On a washing machine, you can just wash clothes. Okay? You can take the microcontroller of a washing machine and program it for controlling an oven, a fan, or whatever. But once you program it for doing another task, every time you power that microcontroller, it will run that task. It will do exactly that code. Another very important feature that is not listed here, but please take note, is the battery consumption. Battery power consumption. Then battery consumption. A microcontroller being designed in order to be standalone, to have everything integrated, to have only the minimum set of required features integrated in a single chip, is very optimized for power consumption. A microprocessor isn't. Typically, there is 1 or 2 order of magnitude in differences in power consumption between a microcontroller and a microprocessor. A very powerful microcontroller like the one we are going to show you this afternoon, just to give you an idea, drain 100 milliampere. Okay, need 100 milliampere of current to be powered. This means that for the typical battery pack you can buy online, like the one from 10,000 milliampere, you can keep in life that microcontroller for 100 hours. Okay? Try to use for 100 hours your smartphone without recharging. That's the difference. Okay? There is 1 order of magnitude in that case, because typically a smartphone lasts in 10 hours, 12 hours. And don't tell me that that is the display, because try to live for 1 day, it will last in 20 hours, but no, not in 100.
So Daniele, this is a question. It's not a trick question. I actually don't know the answer. So you said the microcontrollers are not expansive, right? But they do have connectors. They have an interface, right? And then microprocessors often have a bus, right? Where you can a slot. Right? So what's the difference between? I mean, you don't see a slot on a microcontroller. You see connectors, right? But the connectors then, you know.
What I'm referring here
I mean,
is
there's I/O. You have I/O connectors.
Yeah.
But that's different than a bus connector, right? Which is where you can expand memory and add more complicated, you know, like a GPU and those kind of things.
But, I mean,
so explain the difference between the bus and just a connector.
Yeah.
And what you mean by not expansive.
For not expensive, I mean that the design of the microcontroller has been driven by the mass market and by the automotive field, so has been designed in order to be produced in numbers. So generally speaking, if we are looking to a microprocessor and microcontroller that are on the same level of market, I mean, we are not talking about automotive, we are not talking about aerospace market and whatever. Typical customer application, mass market application, like for example, a smartphone in comparison with a washing machine, okay? The microcontroller for a washing machine is 2 orders of magnitude cheaper of a microprocessor used for a mass market smartphone. So I'm talking about the chip, the single element. Then of course, the BOM, the bill of material, required for building a smartphone or required for building a washing machine are very different because of the purpose of the product, but also because of the use of a microprocessor and not of a microcontroller. And I think they need not to be discussed in this lecture, but in general, a microcontroller makes your life easier also in building the board, because being everything integrated in the same chip, you don't have to care about the proper wiring between high speed computational unit and a standard peripheral. Just to give you an idea, designing the PCB, the board, the electronic, on which you need to connect a microprocessor with a random access memory is not an easy task, because the length of the cables are dependent by the speed you want to achieve. In a microcontroller, everything has been designed by someone else and integrated in a single chip. So you don't have to care about it. Designing a board for a microcontroller and designing a board for a microprocessor are 2 activities that typically are assigned to two electronic designers with very different skills. Okay, the second one for microprocessor is very complicated in comparison to the first. Designing a board for this or designing a board for a washing machine is, guys, 10 times more complicated. Please think to 5 products you think are based on microcontroller, and 5 that you think are based on microprocessors. When you are ready, please tell me, then we start to tell. Gualtiero. Un prodotto su based on microcontroller and one based on microprocessor.
Leonardo S is based on microcontroller.
What is that?
And also that one, that one and that one.
The token, the bank token.
The bank token
is based on?
On microcontroller.
Okay. The battery pack?
Yeah.
You think is based on microcontroller?
Yes, and yes, this one, the music player, the iPod. So I think I have like 4 microcontrollers, like 4, and at least 3 CPUs, like 3 MCUs here, 2 mobiles and 1 computer, and probably I have some other on my body that I don't even realize.
I'm not sure about this. I should check.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, but anyway.
But I don't know. I should check.
But really, you just look around and you realize how the camera.
The camera, what are based in too? You think? Is there an LCD screen there? Yeah. Coffee maker microcontroller. On. So, microprocessor? Smartphone, tablet.
This is probably a microcontroller.
This is probably a microcontroller. is a microprocessor just because it has an HDMI output, because all the rest of the things could be done also with a microcontroller and a chip dedicated to the coding.
Yeah, but
the microphone is a microcontroller. So you demonstrated what I was discussing with Ray. Microcontrollers are made for mass market because we are all finding products based on microcontroller, and at the end of the day, we are finding only few categories of product made with microprocessor. So the numbers is making the difference. Okay. So, do you think you need a microprocessor for building your connected product? And if yes, why? Who is thinking, according to the design you are doing of your product, that a microprocessor or a microprocessor-based board is necessary for prototyping its product?
Probably it also depends on the computational
power. For example,
power.
you are the case. The problem of the computational power is let's say not correct. Please understand what I mean. Because it's not a matter of speed. It's not a matter of memory space. It's not a matter. Yeah.
Memory. In a microcontroller, you have a very limited amount of memory. For example, it will be very difficult to do only with a microcontroller image processing, like on a camera, or having a full TCP/IP stack, like the live sides or whatever it is. So, depending on the amount of memory and processing power, not only speed. I don't know if I'm able to. No, I'm not clear.
Point,
probably
but
enough.
Theoretically speaking, I can't agree.
Okay,
let's say.
Why?
Because you are designing a product, okay? And nowadays, MediaTek is producing microcontroller with 20 megabytes of RAM and 20 megabytes of flash. And in 5 years, we will have probably microcontroller with 100 megabytes of RAM and 100 megabytes of flash. So designing today, putting as a limitation, as a selection guideline, a current limitation,
yeah, I see your point.
Need to be demonstrated that you are not able to find on the market what you're looking for. The problem you see in your case is that a microcontroller doesn't have the peripheral you need for acquiring the data you want to use for your processing. Then in this case I can accept. And another example is the cloud, because we are doing here, and this is very provocative, we are doing here a business that use a connected product. So why you need a lot of computational power in the device that, by the business model point of view, you know is wrong. Because it doesn't scale. Close the bracket, because that will open to a very, he's smiling, and when he's smiling, yeah, but that's, so in analyzing your product, by my point of view, I can accept your choice because of the need of specific acquisition peripheral. and because you need an operating system. Who knows what an operating system is? Okay, you all know that, what more or less an operating system is, because in your computer you have an operating system. But you probably don't know, I mean, all of you, that on a microcontroller, an operating system is not needed. It's not mandatory, sorry. Why? Because being a single application, being a computational unit designed for single application, you don't need to switch between tasks. And this is the main purpose of an operating system, giving you the illusion that you have the word processor working in parallel to the mail processor. This is the illusion of the multitasking. A microcontroller for a washing machine doesn't have this problem because it's just washing clothes for the entire life. In your case, you need to run, I'm talking for the other, in parallel, the driver that are acquiring the video from Android. In the meantime, you are taking care of the connection with something like, for example, the Delta robot through a USB probably, and you are calculating probably on board the trajectories that you need to follow for doing the test. And probably you also stream through the network the test. Or from outside, you say, with an SD card or somewhere, you say, do this test on this device. Okay? So he is designing a product that is doing a lot of things in parallel. Since yesterday, in order to do this, you will need probably to buy a Raspberry Pi and put Ubuntu or something on that, and then you feel comfortable that there is an operating system taking care for you of running things in parallel, and you write 5 algorithms, one for managing the USB connection with the mobile, one for managing the USB connection with the Arduino, whatever, and you have the system running in parallel. At the end of the day, you shrink down a computer in a pocket size, but you have a computer. Nowadays, we have microcontrollers that are powerful enough to execute operating systems. So nowadays we have the possibility to run multi-thread, that means more or less multitask, applications also on microcontroller. And this is what we will see in the afternoon. So we can skip these slides because we spoke a lot about this, but what I would like to show you is this. This is an image search on Google for Arduino competitor. There is an error in this picture. Find the error. This is the error. This is the problem of the market perception. Okay? And the problem is that you are part of the market. Okay? If Google put a Raspberry Pi within the Arduino competitors, means that when you are saying, potentially, when you are searching for a microcontroller board or a prototyping board for building your product, you could find a microprocessor board. Okay?
It could be a competitor because the GPIO pins of Raspberry Pi.
But is a competitor.
Ah, okay.
Because competitor is a word that is associated with a market. So if you are not buying, if you are buying a Raspberry Pi, probably you are not buying Arduino 2. So, but the market point of view is a competitor. What I'm wondering is, do you have, okay, because of your background, but who you inventors and future entrepreneurs have all the elements that will keep you safe in searching in a, come si dice inquinato? In a polluted world, the correct solution for prototyping your idea? I'm going to tell you again. Do you think you have all the elements that will allow you to avoid errors due to a wrong perception of the available solution due to market driving? You understand what I mean? I can understand that my sentence was very, very bad. This is the only things I'm wondering. I'm not wondering about competitor between Arduino and Raspberry. Doesn't matter. What I'm wondering is that if you can take the correct choice. Because the web, in my opinion, is not helping you. Oh, it's making your life more complicated. So we will not see here any slide about microprocessor because, again, of my previous slides. Because in my opinion, you don't need a microprocessor for designing a connected product, except in some cases you need to demonstrate me, and I am not still very convinced. I mean, it's obviously a provocative approach. You need to, try to criticize your design. A bit of terminology, of way of searching, let's say, for the naives of this word. Probably the order of these slides is wrong. Thanks for helping me in understanding this. And yes, a microcontroller board, a control board, is what we define it as an Arduino. It's where the microcontroller is mounted. Okay. People like Massimo Banzi, but someone before him, decided have a very smart idea and said, okay, let's sail a board where the microcontroller, together with the components needed for easy interfacing with sensor and actuator, are already mounted. So in this way, people can start easily in playing with microcontroller without starting from scratch, in soldering the microcontroller with the oscillator and whatever. This is what nowadays are perceived as do-he-why electronic microcontroller board or prototyping board and whatever. Arduino is just one of them. It's the most famous because probably it's one of the first, or because of strange reason. No one we really understood except Ray, because you have the answer. Then another important element of this world is the shields. Shields are elements that can be plugged to this board, particular to Arduino, and they bring extra functionalities. So on the shields, you find, for example, an LCD or a particular sensor, or a particular actuator, or a particular connection. The guys there are using an Arduino with a shield on top that add to the Arduino the Wi-Fi connectivity, nothing more. Typically, nowadays, shields are single function. You had one shield for a specific function, like in your case, Wi-Fi connection. There are some cases, for example, the Wi-Fi shield sometimes has also the SD card on board for data logging, and there are also other cases. But generally speaking, shields are very application designed, let's say. You had a shield that brings one or a couple of functions associated with a specific purpose. Wi-Fi, data logging is the case. Yes.
The shields are more a convenience than anything else. Because
Yeah,
shield
yeah,
just gives
yeah.
you a package when it
You don't have to solder. You don't have to solder. You just plug and it works. You don't have to wires or whatever. They are more stable. You can put everything in a box. You can shake it, and there is no risk of having wire.
It's just a package way of understanding.
Yeah, yeah. It's a standardized way of plugging sensors. The sketch in the Arduino world is the program. It's the program you write in the Arduino wiring code, and you upload on the board. In my opinion, it's a very bad word because it doesn't mean nothing. It's not a sketch. Also because sketch is a word that is associated with scripting languages, and Arduino is not a scripting language, but is a programming language. So let's say that there are programs that can be compiled in some kind of code or binary and uploaded to the microcontroller board. And then you have sensors. And I defined modules for the connection because as Gualtiero was saying, it's very complicated to associate a connection with a sensor in the category of sensor or actuator because usually they are both in parallel. So let's call the connectivity elements modules, okay? Or it's the same for a GPS. That at the end of the day is a sensor. Modules are perceived as complex sensors that are. Some examples, you can find shields for almost everything nowadays. This is very important by the prototyping point of view. You can go online, fill a chart with some elements, and you have a box like this of wires that prototype your idea, not your product, probably, because it's been built by plug and play of these elements. This is something we produced here in Pisa. It's one of the first cases of a multi-sensor shield, specifically tailored for human-machine interaction and production of design-oriented, human interaction design-oriented project, and includes a set of sensors that, in our opinion, that has been benchmarked in order to give designers the possibility to easily produce prototype of interactive product. In particular, we put there a light measurement sensor, a temperature sensor, microphone for sound level detection, not for sound in terms of wave acquisition. Infrared receiver for data packets. Then we have as actuator an infrared sender, a buzzer for emitting simple sound like the alarms. Then we have the connection for the RGB LEDs. And then we have a connection for an auxiliary connector you can easily use for extending that makes the shield a sort of hub for extra sensors. And in particular is the first shield that can be plugged on both Arduino and particle footprints. So this makes you free of selecting the control board later. I mean, this is exactly in line with what I'm talking about. Select the feature first and the control board later. Because the bottleneck is not on the control board, but is in the feature you want to give to your product. Then there are the breakout boards. Breakout boards are not shields, so they can't be plugged on top of an Arduino or a particle, but they include in a single PCB the main sensor or the main actuator and all the signal conditioning or powering elements you need to properly use that sensor. Again, they are made for making your life easier because you don't have to design all the circuit required for powering and conditioning, we say, that element, and they expose just few pins or simple connection to be interfaced with microprocessor or microcontroller. Okay, but they are not made in a footprint that can be easily plugged on an Arduino or on a particle or on any other kind of prototyping board. And then there are classic simple sensors, just to help you in finding the proper component. The components like these ones are called through-hole. It means that they are based on packages from which solid, rigid wires called pins comes out, and you need to solder these pins on boards with holes, through holes. Okay? The other kind of packages are called SMD, surface mounted devices. Prototyping with SMD is very complicated or almost impossible. You need to design your own board, your own PCB that can host an SMD component. So usually for prototyping, you will buy through-hole component that can be easily wired or plugged on the breadboard. The breadboard are the white multi-holes prototyping devices you can use for interfaces this component. But of course, they are more expensive, the through-hole, because the packages are bigger in comparison to the SMD. And in the world of silico, you are paying for the amount of material and the cost in terms of transportation and managing of these elements. So SMD products are very cheap. So just a suggestion, when you prototype something with a through-hole component, always verify that the same chip exists also in SMD, because when you want to go in production, you don't want to re-implement the drivers or the algorithm you use for reading that sensors. So you want to be sure that what you are prototyping today, because originated from a design process, can be produced tomorrow. Okay? These slides for telling you that there are thousands of sensors out of there. So again, forget the things. Don't wake up in the morning with an awesome idea and go and start Googling about the sensors. Analyze the problem, identify the physics, and the sensors comes later. And this is the example. This is if you have a problem of proximity, understanding the proximity, an object able to understand if someone is close to the object, you need to have enough element to navigate this graph. And I'm sure that in the morning, after the awesome dreams, you don't have that element. Let's imagine you want to design an air parfum, an automatic dispenser of parfum in the air that sprays only if needed. No, only if, oh, the only is a problem.
When you pass.
No. That spray if needed. That spray if needed. Is an automatic parfum dispenser that. Sorry.
If I make this all the time, it's spray because all the time it's needed.
Okay, that's an approach. It's something that has been implemented something like 15 years ago. In the toilet, there were automatic dispenser that every minute were spraying, days and nights. It's something I remember in Italy. They were very common. The challenge is selecting the proper set of sensors.
It's even more complicated than this, right?
No. It's not more complicated than this.
The thermal sensor is not out.
Oh, you are making more complicated.
Yeah, I'm saying that if one was to try to solve, starting from...
But the solution is not here.
No, well, you said types of proximity sensors, right? So what that means to me is ways in which someone can sense
this
proximity.
is the type of proximity sensor. I mean, by the market category point of view, is to search for proximity sensor
okay, because
on
there's
DigiKey.
I understand, but you recognize there's other ways of detecting proximity which are not represented in
Totally
this
agree with you. There are thousands of ways of
right. That's why I'm saying it's even more complicated. If you went through the whole problem space, there's many more options. But if you narrowed it down to just like what's available for me to just start with, using the term proximity, this is what you get from a market perspective.
You perfectly reverse the point. That this is what I'm trying to do with them. If they wake up in the morning with this dream, they thought during the night that they need to understand the proximity of human beings to the object. They Google proximity sensor. This is what they found. Yeah. I'm going to demonstrate that they will not find the best solution in this chart.
Right.
For building the product, I am telling, the automatic dispenser. One possibility is to use, for example, ultrasonic, okay? You make this dispenser, you put the dispenser in the corridor, there is ultrasonics, it's emitting ultrasound. Once you pass through, you act as a reflective surface for the ultrasounds. The object perceives an ultrasound echo and say someone is there, psh. Works perfectly. An ultrasound sensor costs $20. Okay? This means that in a product will rise the price of the product of $40. So you will have an automatic dispenser that will cost at least $60. Light detection. I like it. In which way?
If human being is there, he or she needs the light to be seen around, and when he start the lights, it can be spray.
So this object doesn't spray in sunny days.
This is not outside, this is inside.
Yeah, I can assume, I mean, in Italy in sunny days we don't turn on the light.
You spray outside?
Inside. Inside in the living room, okay? I have a very bright and sunny living room.
Okay.
And your product doesn't work in my living room. But your product is very close to what I have in mind.
Thank you very much. That's enough for me.
Challenge yourself.
Come on, you are there.
You are so close.
You are there. That's the product. I'm gonna tell you, that's the sensor, okay? That's the sensor.
That's the sensor. Okay. And you want a solution about these sensors?
I want a solution that uses your sensor in my product.
If I want to use this sensor in your product, maybe I use these sensors, but with some range on it, you know? It can see only 2 meters, 3 meters, like this.
You are going far from your previous solution. It was better, the one before.
Because you're scaring me.
Never forget that I am the Freddy Krueger of product design. Okay, a little help. Shadow.
secure shadow. You put it under where you are sure that it's going to be a shadow when the person passes.
About the shadow. Is
The suggestion is think about the shadow. We have an automatic dispenser, of course based on a microcontroller because I'm here, that use a light sensor but has a problem if we use the light sensor as it is, because in Tuscany in July we'll never spray in sunny living rooms. But I suggest you to think about the shadow. Who are computer scientists here? One. Well, come on, guys. Oh. So? Huh?
You have to think in the opposite way. Remember the talk on Monday on negation, right? So don't think the obvious, think the opposite.
I tell you why you are in crisis. Because I taught you the word humans. I thought you, oh, he needs to spray when someone passes. You are completely tuned. Now you go to the supermarket, you collect some money, you go to the supermarket and you buy the Glad micro spray, you open it, and the electronic of that device is made without microcontroller, because there is an RC circuit that implements a derivative filter that turn on the motor when the derivative is higher than a threshold. That's all.
Okay. When you finish to speak with Sergio, can you explain to the other, please? Me too.
What is the derivative of a signal? Is how much a signal is changing over the time. So, doesn't matter about the average value or the absolute value of the light in my room, because this will make my product affected by the environmental light. But I want to create a product that can work during the day, during the night, in Italy or in Scandinavia or whatever, or in a cave. Doesn't matter. In a cave with the speleologists with the light. Otherwise it doesn't matter. So you need to think to what the interaction with someone will comport by the object point of view. If the object is measuring the light, when someone will pass close, will change the light. In a way that is absolutely faster than the day cycle. Someone is passing in 3 seconds, and the light during the day change in 6 hours at least. And that's all. That's a. Or when you turn on and turn off the light. Why? You are there. You need to perform.
Yeah, but what about a windy day and the tree in front of your window that is moving and the object sprays?
Okay. Shall I design the product?
No, just
you put a delay. If I sprayed, I will not spray.
I don't like this answer, sorry.
Because,
the answer is
No. The answer is made of 2 parts.
Okay.
You are in house.
Yeah.
Okay. You passed it through. The tree is waving, so it's changing the light. I put the delay, so it's not spraying continuously. It sprays only at least as a refractive period of, let's say, 30 minutes. It's not spraying faster than 30 minutes. Okay? Doesn't matter if you are passing or the tree is moving. The problem is that you are not at home and the way is and the tree is moving, and he is spraying. I'm selling sprays. And you will never know who is using the spray. Do you understand the point? The point is what Gualtiero is saying. There are a lot of side effects that can comport a fast variation of the light on the sensor, okay? And these side effects are not necessarily related with the presence of a human being. Like, for example, having a windy day that can move the shutter of your windows. So if you are in-house, the problem is fixed in the same way you need to implement for avoiding extra parfum disposition in the environment, okay? Doesn't matter who is the trigger, if it's the shutter that is moving or if the human being. You are at home and you want to have a spray every 30 minutes if there is movement, okay? The real problem could be, by the human perception point of view, that this object is spraying also when someone is not at home. And this is why I removed the word only when Gualtiero, and I said that Gualtiero, not you are wrong when I was telling you the definition, because the problem is only when someone is doing something. This is an object that is spraying if someone is doing something, but could spray also if no one is at home and the windows are moving or the cat is passing close to the object.
There's a big logic problem. Because why not just leave the spray all the time?
Huh?
Then why not just have it spray all the time?
Because you will never buy a product that will spray all the time, because you know that you are wasting the spray. But I am selling the spray, so I'm going to tell you that the product is sprays when is needed. So when you want to have a good parfum. I not necessarily need to tell you that the product could spray also in other moments.
It's not a bug, but an hidden feature.
By the design point of view, is a bug. But the problem is that the cost, by my point of view, as an engineer, Gualtiero is terrified. Okay, by the technical analysis of the specification point of view, is a bug. By the user perception point of view, is not a bug, because you are not there, so there is no user perception.
Yeah, I see that the spray finished first. That I.
Yes.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Because in your house, that smells wonderful.
And Filippo, the only way you have for understanding that it's not spraying correctly is to put another spray like that in another house or ask to your friend. Because if you both one product, you will never know the difference. You think it lasts in 1 day. And you say, wow, that's very expensive. The real Razzle blade. I don't think you go out and having a pizza with your girlfriend and you discuss about how does it last your Glad microspray. Wow, mine lasts in 3 years. And you in 3 days?
Maybe if I try another product, I see that
that's the risk.
It's longer, and then I buy it.
That's the risk, but again, we are opening to a set of problems that are not strictly related with the design. Okay. Is your hidden friends asking for something?
This aspect on the cost, it's true. It's something that has to be evaluated, but consider how Daniele started at the beginning. You're making the simplest version of the product that in terms of business modeling and costing, probably it turns to be the cheapest way. So it's the customer decision is based on the customer analysis to decide if it's worth to say, okay, this solution is cheaper, and you take the risk of making it last less. And then there would be like maybe a competitor that decides to put another sensor that has a higher cost that lasts more, and then it's up to you to decide. It's like, you know.
Yeah, in this case, if you think more in a holistic way, you could design together the object, the business model, and the other accessory elements. And if you design that way, probably you design a better object. So doesn't matter if you choose a Raspberry for implementing the GLAD, because it is for the prototype is perfectly fine. But what you want to understand is if the user perceive a better smell and it is more happy. That's the result of the prototype. But immediately after, you have to design the entire process of selling, refilling, and supplying and spraying. That could make a difference.
And this is the answer to the discussion we were having before. It's not a matter of prototyping. It's a matter of packaging the entire solution in a proposal. Guys, this is what is happening, okay? 10 years ago, Texas Instruments, Atmel, and similars were searched a lot on Google. Now, people started to do similar searching for Arduino. Okay, Arduino is becoming a sort of keyword for identifying projects and about electronic information about electronic, do UI, and prototyping and whatever. This is something real. It's something that is happening. And unfortunately, what is happening is also this one. That a computer, look at the category, because Google is, is not playing chess. Raspberry, that is a computer, has more or less the same kind of trend in searching than the Arduino. So be very careful when you try to identify the technologies. And the only way you have for avoiding these kinds of problems is having already done a very strong design process that criticizes the solution, forgetting the things and thinking to the real functionality. Real low-level functionality. I want to have an house with a wonderful perfume, wonderful smell. That's the need. And another interesting thing is that people are searching for electronic solution not on the producer of the chips and of the electronic element, but more on the marketplaces and on the retailer. Adafruit and SparkFun are becoming a sort of reference element for learning. People are not, designers are not able anymore to read data sheets. And this is dramatic. You are designing product on the basis of description that has been written by maker in Kansas during the night, or any kind of other far spaces from the world. You are not reading the data sheets produced by the team who designed the processor, the components, the elements, and the sensors, but you took a simplified description from instructable. I rephrase for computer scientists. Stop programming by copy and paste, by stack exchange, non mi viene il termine. Stack overflow. Sorry, Stack Overflow. Wow, I'm too tired. Finally, market perception. If you do a search on Kickstarter about in the technology category, and you put just the term Arduino in the search, you will find 442 products, and most of them are not based on Arduino. They are not compatible with Arduino. But they are just open. So Arduino is becoming a market keyword for rising attention of people interested in open source. Again, take this as a note if you want to promote your product, but take this as a note also when you are searching. Finally, this is very complicated to be read, but this is, sorry, the title is in Italian, I just realized it. This is a survey made to a panel of embedded developer, so developer for microcontroller, and this question was, for what type of application are your embedded project developed? The main is industrial controls, and the second is consumer electronics, and the blue arrow is Internet of Things. So the market is asking embedded developer of coding, producing solution for the Internet of Things. So probably the Internet of Things is a bubble, is there, but is rising a new market because there are people paid for programming for the Internet of Things. So there is a need. And this is which kind of implementation the customer asks you, and typically they ask new or different software features, new of different processor. This is your case, okay? Is I prototyped with the solution A, I want to move to B. This is the specification, this is the piece of code I developed. Please help me to port this code on another platform because I need to go in production and my platform is not compatible with a mass production. New or different connectivity capabilities. Again, this is your case again. I used the Yun and now I need to move to LoRa or Sigfox because my robots are installed in city council. With one antenna I can cover 15 kilometers, so why using Wi-Fi that is too heavy in power consumption? You are on the first three requests to the embedded developer. And this afternoon, in the hands-on, we, together with my team of Zerin, we are going to show you that a possible solution is there. Because Zerin is a multi-board, multi-processor developing suite that allow you to start from the feature, programming in a high-level language like Python for a wide set of microcontroller and a wide set of sensor and actuator and modules. So think to the functionality, and then you will port, then you will move, then you will, then the platform will guarantee you that you can move to other solution without changing any single line of code. This is what we are going to do in the afternoon. And please, in the lunch break, download the Zerin Studio and install on your machine from www.zerinth.com. Okay? So this will help us to speed up the hands-on activity. Thank you.